Ba-ba-bum, ba-da-ba-da-ba, ba-ba-ba-bum, bum, ba-ba-ba-ba-da-da-bum, bum-ba-ba-dum. All right, just getting set up here. Da 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 da. Yeah. Da da da. Da 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 dum. Ba da ba da ba 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 da ba ba. I figure if I'm still setting up, I should entertain you somehow. So, hello, everybody. Whoops. Thank you for your patience as I get set up because I just got home. So, woof-da. Alrighty, so I wasn't here last week. I hope you got the memo. I was actually gone last weekend. I was out in the woods in central Washington on a vision quest, which was amazing. Crazy amazing. And ooh, it was crazy. It was good. It was enlightening and expansive. Okay, let's see here. So welcome to Monday Mini Medicine Card Readings. I am Patrick, and I will be your friendly neighborhood shaman for the evening. There we go. Okay. So like I said, I just got home. So thank you for your patience as I get myself organized and set up. All right. Alrighty then. So I actually just got back from doing readings at Crescent Moon in Tacoma. So got my handy dandy, these are the medicine cards. This is the deck I use. Each card has a different animal spirit on it. And every animal has a different medicine, which is why they're called medicine cards. But I always tend to say animal spirit reading cards or something like that. Because, whoa, when you say medicine to normal people in our society, they think medical, they think health, they think hospitals, they think pills, and that is not the native idea medicine. Like you talk about like the medicine man or the medicine woman, medicine people. Yes, they are healers. Yes, they do help with health and well-being. But that is more a side effect of a well-lived life rather than it being the focus. And so medicine, according to a native perspective, is more like power. Not power over, but personal power, like energy. Like each animal has a different medicine depending on how they live, where they live, what they do, what they eat, all of that adds up to a different animal's medicine. And so you have your own personal medicine. Everybody has their own personal medicine. I'm just smudging my cards since I used them all day. Plus that gives me a little bit of a breather and catch my breath and catch up to being online and everything. There we go. And so Jamie Sams, the woman who made these cards, was Native American, and I think she was affiliated with at least a few different tribes. And she created the medicine card deck for the native definition of medicine. And so the medicine of the animals can help you find your own personal medicine, your own personal power, energy, identity, your purpose, right? So, alrighty, so thank you for joining me. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you're here. It really, you might think I'm just saying that, but it really does make a difference that you are here. And I can feel the difference. I feel the energy exchange. That's awesome. So what we are going to do here, if you're new here, I am going to pull 3 cards from the medicine card deck. And your job is to choose a number between 1 and 3. Or if you feel like it, you can choose 2 or 3 numbers. Because it is an abundant universe. And you know what's best for you. So I am just going to keep shuffling for a bit till my guides say not to, and then whichever card pertains to the number you chose, that is your personal medicine for this coming week. That is the spirit animal guide that has volunteered to walk with you. And I will tell you the medicine that that animal has for you. And if we have time, lately I've been trying to do a little guided meditation at the end so you can get guidance direct from the source, so that it's not just hearsay, listening to what I say they mean and all of that, but you get to hear it right from the animal's lips. I don't know if you can hear that. I had some bird song going, and I muted it when I started our show, this video, and I was like, why did I do that? It's kind of a nice background. I don't know if you can hear it or not. But okay, so here we go. Choose your numbers. 1, 2, or 3. Ha ha! Ho ho! Hee hee! Wow. Alrighty. So we have 3 cards. Number 1, if 1 is your number, you got the butterfly. The butterfly, of course, is transformation. Okay, I'm going to turn the birds down just a tad, so I don't have to scream over them. There we go. So butterfly is number 1. If that is your card, congratulate yourself for what you have been coming through. It is, it's a card of change, of transformation, of rebirth, but it goes so much deeper than that because you literally went from one person and changed into a whole different person. When the caterpillar goes into the cocoon, the caterpillar literally dies. It dissolves into genetic goo. And so the caterpillar literally dissolves. And it's like a virus in the body of the caterpillar, but it has like antibodies, natural antibodies in its body to keep that virus at bay. But as soon as the caterpillar goes into the cocoon, those antibodies die, and that virus takes over. It dissolves the form. It is literally transforming the caterpillar because its form dissolves into nothing. And then that virus rearranges the DNA. I mean, it changes the animal from the ground up, from the DNA, and rearranges that into a whole different animal. So if you've been feeling stuck, if you've been feeling in the dark, maybe a little claustrophobic, not sure what's the next step, and feeling like this buildup of energy, like, why won't it start? Why can't I get going? Now is your time. It is time to break out of that cocoon. And like I saw a saying about if pressure comes from the outside in, that's destruction. That's death. Like an egg, you step on an egg, boom, no chicken. But if the pressure comes from the inside out, the chicken bursts out of the egg. The butterfly bursts out of the cocoon. And so all that pressure that you feel, that you have felt, that felt like it was pushing in on you, making you feel kind of claustrophobic, and bound up, and like you can't do anything, there's nothing to do, there's nowhere to go, you just stuck. And that pressure you felt kind of pushing in on you, it was actually your pressure pushing outward. That's why it felt so tight, because you were congealing inside of that limited space. And as you outgrow that, you burst out from the inside out. And so it wasn't just random, it wasn't accidental, the things that have happened in your recent past that have made you feel stuck or stumble over or whatever, but they actually help to make you stronger. And when the butterfly is coming out of the cocoon, it has this fluid in its guts, okay? And as it pushes through the threads of the cocoon or the chrysalis, that it pushes that fluid up into its wings, and that's what allows it to fly. So the trials and tribulations of the past have actually, it's kind of like what Nietzsche says about what doesn't kill me only makes me stronger. In this case, it's true, because all of those challenges, all of the resistance you felt, it's like doing reps when you're doing exercise, right? You're pushing against that, and it's strengthening your wings. If you cut open a cocoon and let the butterfly out, the butterfly would die. It needs that resistance in order to have wings. And so if you pull it out, the butterfly will be unable to fly and it will die. So no matter how challenging the past has, no matter what you've had to deal with, you are graduating. You are leveling up. It's a whole new world. You are not just stuck in place. Your world is just not just, a couple feet in diameter, living on a single branch or whatever. You now have the ability to circumnavigate the globe. You now have the ability to fly anywhere you want to, because you dropped the heaviness of the past. You dropped the baggage that was holding you down, right? And so basically you've raised your vibration to a place where you are lighter than air. You can fly, you can float. You live on the nectar of flowers. You go toward the sweet spots in life. You don't have to deal with all the heaviness of the world. You don't have to deal with all the opinions and the conflicts and everything. You are above that, and you see a better perspective of where you were. So you can appreciate who you are. I had a really interesting conversation with a caterpillar one time. And what the caterpillar told me was that everyone rushes to the butterfly part of the cycle. No one sticks around with the caterpillar. But the caterpillar is the parent to the butterfly. If the caterpillar isn't healthy, the butterfly isn't going to be healthy, right? And so it's like, this is where you look with compassion on your past self. You forgive yourself for all the things you've come through. We tend to blame ourselves for getting into situations or having certain reactions or having certain emotions, etc. But everything in your past led you to where you are now, and you now have the wings to prove it. Those wings are the product of everything you have experienced in your past. So rather than thinking, well, why didn't I do this sooner? Or how could I have done that? Or blaming other people for your situation. Like, God, I would have done this so much sooner if it wasn't for that person. You can forgive and let go of all of that, because everything that happened in your past got you to this point here. If a single detail was changed, then you would not be who you are now. Ready to soar, ready to fly, ready to explore the world. Your world just expanded exponentially. And it's all because of what you did in your past, who you were in your past. So you can look on that self, look on your past with compassion, with forgiveness, and realize that who you are is not that past. I hope I'm making myself clear. And I know some people's pasts are filled with like horrendous things. I'm not trying to just play it off and say, oh yeah, you did good, and to deny the strength and the courage it took you to get through those things. But it's exactly the strength and the courage to get through those things that created such big, beautiful wings to give you the ability to rise above all of that and to put things into perspective and to be the inspiration to others that, they are not their circumstances. They are not made up of the expectations and opinions of others. They are so much more than that, and when you rise above, being yourself, claiming that purity and that innocence that is who you truly are, you give other people permission to claim that same thing, The birds are a little distracting. Okay. There we go. So that is butterfly. You have leveled up. It's time to claim your wings. They might still be drying out. You might not yet have felt that expansion, felt that freedom, but it's coming. I promise you. If this is your card, you can let go of the past, you know, and fly. You know, I was just talking over the weekend about one of the things I learned, one of the things that my guides taught me on my vision quest last week. I went on the vision quest ready to focus on all the things I needed to let go of and release so I could become the person I meant to become. And my guides were like, stop focusing on what you're letting go of. Stop focusing on what's falling away. Stop focusing on the caterpillar and the cocoon. Focus on what is emerging. Focus on who you are. Focus on your heart, your strength, your courage to move forward. The cocoon, the snake, snake shedding its skin, the skin is going to just shed all by itself. It's the natural flow of things, right? The snake doesn't have to pick off every scad of skin to move forward. The snake just moves forward and the skin comes off. Just like the cocoon, you come out of the cocoon. The butterfly doesn't keep going back to the cocoon feeling all nostalgic and wishing it could be a caterpillar again. It like, woohoo, yeehaw! And they're off and they're conquering the world. They're flying across hemispheres, migrating, just sharing their love and their beauty, right? That's where you are. You're meant to share that beauty. You're meant to fly. Don't look back. Forgive the past, let go of the past, and focus on who you are, the greatness of the being who is emerging, okay? All right, number 2. We have grouse. Don't grouse about it. Grouse is, it's funny, it came up in a reading today I did for someone. Grouse is the spiral dance. Grouse, when grouse does their mating dance, they dance in a spiral. And it's a reminder that we are not just a part of nature, we are nature. The spiral is the oldest sacred symbol we know of. And the spiral, if you know anything about fractals, the spiral is like sacred geometry. The spiral is in everything. Everything unfolds in a spiral. Seashells, pine cones, hurricanes, DNA. It's those things that tie us to all life, right? So we are all of nature. We are all of the world. We are connected to every facet of the earth, right? Of the universe. At the same time, we are a unique facet of that universe, of that reality. And so it's important to dance to your own drumbeat, to find your own heart. Your heart is, the human heart is the original drumbeat, right? And drums have been around forever. And it's that returning to the earth, returning to the womb, getting a sense of who you are beneath the words, beneath the images, beneath the reputation. This is who you are. And the grouse, when they drum their wings. It's amazing. I was on another quest like 12 or 13 years ago, and I woke up one morning in the woods and I didn't hear the drumming as much as I felt it. The grouse were out, they were drumming their wings, and with such force that you would feel it physically. I felt it on my chest. I couldn't hear it so much, but I felt it. Because when the grouse, when they flap their wings, when they're dancing and they're drumming, they flap their wings in such a way that it creates a vacuum the same way that lightning does. They create thunder. Just like lightning superheats the air, and the air creates a vacuum, and then it slams back together, and that's the thunder you hear, the thunder you feel. When grouse drums their wings, they're doing that. They do it in such a way that they create this vacuum, and the air slams back together so that it actually is more felt than heard. And it's like by beating your own drum, by dancing to your own drum beat, those waves, those ripples go out into the world, and you change the world from right where you are. You don't have to go out, convince others of the rightness or the wrongness or whatever. You just beat your own drum. And yeah, grouse is basically the thunderbird. And the not maybe the mythical thunderbird, but if there's a thunder being, it is grouse. So you create your own thunder. Everything you do ripples out from you. And so we each play a part in the whole web of life, right? We're all different facets of the one creative source. We are all connected. We have the same source, but we are different facets that grow like crystals from the center. And so we are each these different unique facets. And so your vibration, your frequency, who you are as a unique being is necessary for the existence of the universe. If you didn't exist, there would be a hole in the universe and it would implode. That's how important you are. And so by beating our own drums, being our own unique selves, we create those ripples and we support others who are becoming their unique self, right? So dance, do what is joyful, what makes your heart dance, and on the picture here, you see there's that red thing on the side of his neck there. There's one on the other side as well, and those are actually air sacs. So when he's dancing, those air sacs blow up bigger than his head, and they are bright red, and they end up drumming as well as he's dancing. They're boom, 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 boom. And so it's like letting your true colors show. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks. It doesn't matter what anyone says. It doesn't matter what anybody's expectations are of you. Let your true colors show, just like the butterfly. You don't need to hide. The time of hiding is in the past. What the world needs now is more passionate people, more people living their bliss, living their passions, letting that passionate, geeky, nerdy self show and shine. I don't care what anyone is talking about. If they're talking about it passionately, I can sit and listen to them for hours. It's the passion that is contagious. You don't have to be into whatever they're talking about, but if they're talking about passionately, just like the teachers you had growing up. You don't remember the ones that were just dull and reading out of the textbook and kind of monotone and Bueller. You remember the ones that would jump up and dance on the desk, that would get so excited at a right answer that they would jump on the desk, right? The ones that would come into the classroom with, and I'm telling you, these are true stories. They would come into the classroom with a what do you call it? Light bulb, right? The long, why can't I think of the name? And be doing lightsaber stuff, the ones that are kooky, the ones that are crazy, the ones that are unique, that don't follow the rules, or follow just enough of the rules to not get in trouble, but with their own unique flair, right? Those are the people we remember. Those are the people, whether you will admit it or not to yourself, that you admire, and that you know, people envy them, people are jealous of them because they're allowed to be who they are. And one of the greatest travesties of our society is putting people in boxes and expecting them to stay there, right? You are meant to dance. Life is meant to be joyous. So if this is your card, dance. Whatever makes your heart dance, do that, you know? It's kind of like, we watched this movie the other night. It's something like Hector's Pursuit of Happiness, something like that. It was kind of an independent film, or a low budget, or whatever. But this psychiatrist kind of went on a sabbatical and started traveling around the world asking people, are you happy? And what makes you happy? And so he was writing, kept his notebook, he was an artist, he kept drawing things, like, maybe happiness is blank, blank, you know, blank, ... And at the end, the wisdom that came out of it was that it's not about the pursuit of happiness. If you're pursuing happiness, it will always elude you, because it's the focus, because you're trying to pursue it. But it's the happiness of pursuit. When you follow your bliss, when you're pursuing the things that make you joyful, happiness is a byproduct. Then you're happy by default. You can't pursue happiness. You can't create happiness. You can't capture happiness. Happiness comes along as a byproduct of pursuing your joy. It's the happiness of the pursuit. The happiness of the butterfly thinking, holy crap, I have wings. Wow, let's take this baby out and see what she can do. Let's dance with these balloons by our head, bigger than our heads, and see who takes notice, who's attracted to my radiance, who comes into my life because I'm not afraid to dance my dance, to pursue my passions, which brings me happiness, right? Woof-da. So that is grouse. Number 3, and I think this was number 3 a couple of weeks ago when I did my last video, the house favorite, one of the house favorites, Jaguar. So number 3 is Jaguar. And Jaguar is about integrity. And just like what I just said about happiness, you can't pursue integrity. It's not something out there. It's not clothes you can put on. It's not a suit that you can get comfortable in. Integrity is the byproduct of being your true self. Jaguar is about, like butterfly, leaving the past in the past and emerging into your true self. Integrity is the reflection of a pure heart. And with that purity comes a fierceness. Integrity necessarily has boundaries. Integrity necessarily is fierce, just like the jaguar. You have to, I don't want to say defend or protect your boundaries, but there's a natural consequence to others crossing your boundaries. And it's not like, oh my God, get back. You know, it's like, how do I put this? There's a fierceness, just like a cat. You know, if you've been around cats, they will tolerate your presence to a certain degree if and when it suits them, right? And you can be petting them just fine, and all of a sudden you cross that line and it's like, wow, you know, they might nip at you or they might swat at you because they've hit their full load. They've hit their saturation point, and then they go off. They don't think about it. They're not guilty. They don't think, you know, stupid human. They just take themselves out of that situation wherever else they need to be, right? That's integrity. Hector and the Search for Happiness. Thank you, Valerie. That is what that name of that movie was. I highly, highly recommend it. Toni Collette is in it. Who else? There were a couple other people I recognized, but I can't think of their names right now. But it was a really, really good movie. You know. And I would venture, this is just coming off the top of my head, I would venture that you cannot be truly happy unless you're in your integrity. You know, there's something about integrity that goes hand in hand with freedom, with lightness, with dancing. Yeah, I mean, no, it's on Amazon Prime. And I think it's the same guy that was in the Shaun of the Dead, that actor. He's kind of really funny and emotive, and it was really, really good. So anyway, integrity goes hand in hand with freedom, with happiness, because it is a byproduct of being completely who you are. I hope that makes sense. But like Jaguar is the apex predator. She is the queen of her jungle, the queen of her realm. She doesn't ask permission. She doesn't make excuses. She doesn't have to rationalize to anybody. She doesn't have to explain anything to anyone. She just is who she is, and she does what she does. Again, her heart is her authority. And because her heart is her authority, because she lives from her heart, everything she does is in balance with her natural world. She sees to her well-being. She doesn't take too much from the environment. She doesn't take too little thinking, oh, I'm not worth it. She takes what is hers to take in harmony with what is healthy for the rest of her world, right? It's the circle of life. When everyone lives from their heart, lives just seeking their own joy, their own bliss, that is living from spirit, that is living from creator, that is living in that God space where you know you are connected to everything. And so because you know you are everything, that you're connected to everything, you don't need to pad your, what do I want to say? Pad your bank account. You don't have to save up for a rainy day. You don't have to be all worried about the future. It's about being here right now with a fierceness of being who you are, no matter what anyone says or does. Does that make sense? And because of the freedom to be who she is, with no pretenses, no mind games, she doesn't hide from who she is. She doesn't play mind games with herself. She knows exactly who she is, and therefore she is a force of nature. Um, everything is from the heart. Everything is the natural flow. And because of that freedom, because of that flow, she doesn't have filters, right? Like we have every time something happens to us, or every time we want something, we have to justify it to ourselves, or we have to go through the filters in our head to tell ourselves that it's okay, that we deserve it because we did this or that we've earned it, right? Jaguar just is, and Jaguar just does. And because of that, because of the lack of filters, because of the lack of, mind goop, whatever you want to call it, she knows her connection. She feels her connection with the world, with the earth and everything upon it. And so I always look at Jaguar, at, cats in general, like as they're moving through their world, they're basically making love with their world because they are that sensitive. Every hair on a cat's body is a whisker. And so they are sensitive to every sound, every vibration, every temperature, every vibration in the ground, every vibration in the air, every sound wave, all of it. They are aware of it. And so they become, again, like grouse, that unique individual facet of the known natural world. And yet they are so in flow with it that there is no separation, right? They feel every feeling. They feel every sound. They hear every sound. They move in that. Just think about how a jaguar moves through the trees, on the earth, that slinking, that grace, that flow, Cats have two stages, solid and liquid. They flow, they melt, they take the form of whatever container they're in. Even the big cats love boxes, and they will sit in boxes and they will fill whatever form they are in. If you're around cats, you know what I'm talking about. They don't have an ego. They're not thinking about, oh, what should I do? Should I do this or should I do that? Right? That was another beautiful, I hope I didn't say this already, but one of the lessons I got from this past weekend, one of the nuggets, the profound nuggets I got from my guides was they told me that if there's a choice, then you're coming from your head. But if there's a desire, then you're coming from your heart, right? Your guidance will always lead you toward your desires. Your guidance will always lead you toward your fulfillment. Your heart will always guide you toward greater expressions of yourself. It will never step up to protect you from something else. If there's something else, you're in your head, you're in separation. But when you're in your heart, you're flowing with the world, and it is desires that will guide you. And then you will feel the connections. When those synchronicities show up, it's like each one is like another little, I wanted to say like almost orgasmic, in that it's like, boom, whoa, there's that next synchronicity showing me I'm on the right path, right? And it's like, boom, there's the next one. And whenever you recognize those synchronicities, it's like, boom. It's like a spark. It's like, and it's the dance of the spiral with grouse, that joy and that undescribable feeling of connection that happens when you're not thinking about it. So live from your heart, live by your desires. Know that if it's a desire, you're coming from your heart. And if you're coming from your heart, it is divine guidance, necessarily, because your heart is what connects you to Great Spirit, okay? So those are the 3 cards. 1 second while I grab my drum, and we will do a little guided shamanic journey. So, my drum. All right, so I love big cats, and I cannot lie. That's not where I was going with that, but I was looking into becoming a zookeeper. In fact, I volunteered for a little while at the Cougar Mountain Zoo in Issaquah. And it was so awesome. And if I had gone into become a zoologist or a zookeeper or something, I would have focused on big cats. I love them so much. But anyway, so that's just beyond the point. All right, so I'm going to turn the birds down just a bit. And so what we're going to do now is I'm going to do a guided shamanic journey for you. And whatever animal, or choose one of the animals that came to you in this reading to spend the week with you, to bring you their medicine, their strength, their encouragement. Choose one of those, or whichever one came to you. And what we're going to do, I'm just going to drum softly. I'm going to lead you in a shamanic journey to go meet that animal, to get the message right from them, why they came to you in particular. I can generalize all day long about what animals mean and what the messages are, blah, 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 but to you that is still hearsay, that's secondhand. And so I love helping people see their own relationship, their own unique relationship, being that unique facet of the divine. You have a unique relationship with every animal. And so finding that message right from the animal's lips. So when you're ready, close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and hold it for a moment. And let it go. Feel yourself relaxing further and further. Feel the chair or the floor, wherever you're sitting. Feel the support it is giving you to hold you. Take another deep breath in. Hold it for a moment and let it go. And now, I want you to open your third eye as though it was one of your other eyes. Look out into your imagination. Find yourself on the edge of a great forest, looking across a vast meadow. You can hear the birds singing in the trees behind you. You can hear the buzz of the insects in front of you, watching the dragonflies dart back and forth, hearing the low thrumming of the bumblebees going from wildflower to wildflower. In the center of this meadow, you see a great flat rock. So go ahead and take a step toward that rock. Move through the grass, the tall grasses waving in the breeze. feel them brushing against your legs and against your hands. Smell that hot, dry grass of the late summer. And when you reach that rock, crawl up on top of it, sitting comfortably, feeling the heat of the stone beneath you, feeling the heat of the sun on your face, and the coolness of the breeze blowing past you, playing with your hair, keeping you at just the right temperature. And as you sit on this rock, we are going to invite your chosen guide, your animal ally this week to come and join you. It might come from the trees, it might descend from the sky, he might dance up out of the grass, but we invite them here now. And when they arrive, greet them, thank them for coming, thank them for volunteering to help you this week, to walk with you through this week with better guidance, more awareness, more clarity. And now I'm going to be quiet and just drum for a minute or two while you ask this animal, what is their personal message to you? Why is it they came to you in particular to help this week? Even if they didn't tell you in words, even if you didn't get a message right now, pay attention this week to your dreams, pay attention to the conversations around you, and ask if you didn't get anything, ask for the message to be told to you clearly and in a way that you can understand it. And with that curious expectation, go through your week. But now it is time to let these animals go back to spirit, knowing they are still with you, and knowing that you can at any time go back through this guided journey or return yourself through meditation or whatever to this rock and call in the animal to consult them, to ask for clarity, to get a personal message. But for now it is time to let them go, for them to return from whence they came. So say goodbye, so long, thank them, give them a little scritch on the head if appropriate, and let them go back to where they came from. And now the rock beneath you, the stone upon which you are sitting, slowly transforms back into the chair or the floor or the earth or the bed, whatever you are sitting on. As your awareness comes back to this time, to this reality, to the physical three-dimensional world. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and come back to full waking consciousness. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you got a message. I hope you got clarity on why that animal came up for you this week. If not, like I said, pay attention to your dreams, especially. Pay attention, say when you're driving or you're otherwise engaged, and just see what little bits of wisdom might float down into your brain, and then pay attention. You know, don't just shoo it away. Don't just think, oh, that's just some crazy thought. Embrace it. Know that it is coming from your animal guide, and that they really do want your highest and best. And so, you know, call on them this week, even if you didn't get like a verbal message, or, you know, maybe pay attention to what thoughts, what images come into your mind. Pay attention to the feelings that come into your heart, especially those ones that come spontaneously, because that is a sign that it's not coming from you, that it is coming from your guides. So I hope that was, I hope you got some good guidance. I hope you were able to connect with your guides. And the next 2 weeks are uncertain. I am actually, after one quest, I'm going on another quest of sorts. And I believe I'm going to be able to do next Monday, do my live video like normal. Next Monday, I'll just be in a different location. And then the following Monday, I will do everything I can to be in a place where I can do the live video as well. So just stay tuned. I will post whether we will have it or not. Or I will try to at least, and I might be in 2 different places the next 2 Mondays, but no matter what happens, next 2 weeks I will be here the following Monday, okay? So in the meantime, I will upload this to my YouTube channel, Perching Wolf Studios YouTube channel, so go on there, like me, please like me, and subscribe. And there are tons of other readings there that you can check on. And I'm going to share this to my Facebook page. And thank you, Deb. I am open to donations. This is my full-time job now. Woohoo! And so I am always open to donations with great gratitude. And you can find my PayPal link in the description under the Facebook post when I get it up there, and on my YouTube channel. But it is paypal.me/PerchingWolfStudios. So I gratefully accept any donations, anything. If you enjoyed this and want to express that gratitude with money, and receive more gratitude from me, that is how we save the world. That is how we mutual healing, mutual love. So I support the community that supports me. It's a beautiful infinity loop. You know, that's what I was trying to do here when I was doing this, whatever this is. Anyway, so thank you so much. Know that I am here to support you, like I just said. So check out my website, perchingwolfstudios.net, to find out what shamanic services I offer, including readings. If you ever want your own personal reading, where all the cards are a reflection of what you need to personally know, then connect with me on my website or message me, email me, and we will set that up. Yeah, so I believe that is it for now. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope to see you next week from a secret location. And meanwhile, have a wonderful, wonderful week. Know that I love you, that I see you, and that I honor you. So have a wonderful, wonderful week. Call on them animal guides. Know they're there to help you. And I will see you soon. And until then, go shining. All right, my friends. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.